Now at this time, I would like to bring up the non-public coach, Danny Algeo from Roman Catholic High School, to introduce his players.
Thank you. First, I'd like to thank Jimmy DeVirgilis and the All-Star Committee on their commitment to the game and the excellent job working with the game. I also want to introduce my assistant coaches. Assistant coach from St. Joe's Prep, Gil Brooks. Assistant coach from Father Judge, Billy Cook. Assistant coach from North Catholic, Chuck Killian. Assistant coach from St. Joe's Prep, Brian Fluck. And assistant coach from Father Judge, Al Piccarello. Now to introduce the roster. Number 7 from Cardinal Doherty, Brian Kersey. Number 11 from Father Judge, Mike Fox. Number 14 from Father Judge. Number 22 from Father Judge, John Walker. Number 24 from Father Judge, Ryan Hardy. Number 27 from North Catholic, John Clark. Number 31 from North Catholic, Brian Boss. Number 33 from St. Joe's Prep, Billy Keller. Number 37 from Roman Catholic, Chris Schmidt. Number 43 from West Catholic, Mark Bullock. Number 44 from Roman Catholic, Nick Keller. Number 48 from Father Judge, Dave Piccarello. Number 52 from North Catholic, Mark Fisher. Number 55 from North Catholic, Jason Zumsky. Number 56 from Cardinal Doherty, Dave LeBold. Number 58 from St. John Newman, Joe Davis. Number 61 from Cardinal Doherty, Carl Davenport. Number 66 from St. Joe's Prep, Brad Blaisdell. Number 71 from Father Judge, Jim Lanigan. Number 72 from North Catholic, Martin Loesch. Number 74 from Father Judge, Greg Stever. Number 76 from North Catholic, Pat McGeehan. Number 77 from North Catholic, Tony Franklin. Number 78 from Cardinal Doherty, Nate Houston. Number 81 from St. John Newman, Kevin Joyce. And number 83 from West Catholic, Robert Woodruff. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the 1997 non-public All-Star team. I'd like to wish Coach Sanderson and the public team best of luck, and we'll see everybody Saturday night.
All right, at this time I'd like to bring up the coach of the Public All-Stars, Dave Sanderson from Martin Luther King High School.
All right, first of all, I'd like to thank everyone for coming this evening. Pardon me. I'd like to thank the Executive Committee for another outstanding job this year in running this outstanding event. All right, first of all, I'd like to introduce my assistant coaches. From Washington High School, Bill Skip Singletary. From Northeast High School, Coach Bruce Schumer. Also from Northeast High School, Coach Dennis Ginnenthal. From Martin Luther King High School, Harris Sachs. From Bartram High School, Damon Warren. From West Philadelphia, Coach Gene Kelly. Also in the back, working one of the ticket tables, is Tim Navin, who does our injuries, and he's our trainer. So let's give Tim a big hand, please. All right, next I'd like to introduce the players from 1997 All-Public Football Team. Number 7 from Martin Luther King, Mark Daniels. Number 8 from Dobbins, Antoine Graham. Number 11 from West Philadelphia, Jonathan Brown. Number 12 from Lincoln High School, Michael Smith. Number 14 from Frankfurt High School, Stephen Sidlick. Number 15 from Northeast High School, John Griffin. Number 17 from Mashbaum High School, Ed Bowman. Number 18 from Washington High, George Radu. Number 21 from Northeast High School, Joe Kondorski. Number 22 from Mashbaum High, Brian Smith. Number 23 from Germantown, Robert Akins. Number 24 from Frankfurt, Salim Debman. Number 25 from Mashbaum, Michael Crawford. Number 27 from Dobbins, Urel Prosser. Number 31 from Ben Franklin High School, Maurice Bibbs. Number 33 from Mashbaum, Kyle Shedrick. Number 35 from Alumni High School, Gregory Toney. Number 37 from Roxborough, Randbell Taylor. Number 43 from Lincoln High, Dennis Ty. Number 44 from Gratz High School, Wamba Johnson. Number 47 from Roxborough, Gary Willis. Number 48 from Frankfurt, Chris Covington. Number 49 from South Philadelphia, Brian Bradley. Number 50 from Dobbins, Lamont Lister. Number 51 from Mashbaum, Ron Brown. Number 52 from Bartram, Earl Thornton. Number 55 from Martin Luther King High School, Vince Pemberton. Number 56 from Mashbaum, William Littles. Number 58 from Washington, Dan Brumwasser. Number 61 from Edison, Curtis Seegers. Number 62 from Edison, James Cosby. Number 63 from Frankfurt, Ronald James. Number 65 from Washington High, Eli Johnson. Number 66 from South Philly, John Watts. Number 67 from Bach, Omar Sabir. Number 71 from Bach, Horace Stewart. Number 72 from Ben Franklin, Andre Taylor. Number 73 from Germantown, Vitapati Bay. Number 74 from South Philadelphia, Joe Conway. Number 77 from Frankfurt, Jeffrey Faust. Number 78 from Northeast High, Eric Petty. Number 81 from Bartram, Cody Nixon. Number 82 from Central, Raheem Islam. Number 83 from University City, Ed Giddings. Number 84 from Overbrook, S.B. Hart. Number 85 from Bartram, Philip Johnson. Number 89 from Dobbins, Raheem Brock. Number 90 from Central, Sean Ryan. Number 91 from Alumni, Maurice Wright. And number 99 from Washington, Kwesi Solomon. At this time, I'd like to wish Coach Algio and the non-publics good luck on Saturday.
Stay up here for a second. I'm going to have what's this?
It's the custom in the All-Star game to present the game ball to both coaches. And at this time, I would like to bring up Nick Keller from Roman, and also Mark Daniels and Steve Sidlett to bring up the game ball to the coaches. You have the game ball? All right, coaches.
On behalf of the non-public team, I'd like to present to Mr. Aggio the game ball.
On behalf of the public team, I'd like to present this ball to Coach Dave Sanderson from Martin Luther King High.
Folks, pardon me a second. I made a mistake. I didn't introduce two young ladies who are dynamite young people. They're our managers for the All-Star Game and at Martin Luther King, Heather and Helena Kent. Stand up, ladies. Come on. Hey, kind of nervous up here, and I forgot those two. All right.
We would like to bring up to the podium the president of the All-Star Committee, who's going to make an award, which is called the Executive Committee Award. He coaches baseball and football at Roxborough High School, Cliff Hubbard.
It gives me a great deal of pleasure to present this award tonight, the Executive Committee Award, which we don't give every year, but it is an award which we present to a person who we feel has rendered outstanding service to the game. And this person has been rendering outstanding service for years without ever taking any credit or without ever asking for any credit. He usually works a lot behind the scenes. I know he's been very, very valuable to me. And I had to kind of make sure he was here tonight, and probably when I say this, he may know who I'm talking about. I asked him, was he coming to the banquet tonight, and he said, do you want me to come? And I said, sure, we want you to be there. The executive board would like to have you be there. So he is here tonight, and I'm glad to see he's here. He usually calls me quite a bit, and he asks me, what about this, what about that, why don't you try this, why don't you try that? And that's the type of person he is. He has a lot of ideas, and a lot of the things that we do have come from this person. And because he has been such a diligent worker and a person who always has young people forefront in his mind, and because of the fact he's done so much for this game, I'd like to present tonight the Executive Committee Award to Joe D'Angelo. While Joe's coming up, Joe has been on the executive board many years. He's been a member of the executive board for many years. He's also been a coach at a lot of places around the city. He was at Germantown Academy. He was with Bill Manlove at Widener. He was with Bill Manlove at Delaware Valley. And at the present time, he's on the staff at Westchester University. So I'd like to present this award to Joe D'Angelo.
Mike, say something. This is yours.
Geez, I don't know what to say, except Coach Hubbard never told me that this was going to happen, so I'm very surprised. I accept this award with a great deal of pride, and I'm very humbled to accept this, and I just don't know what to say, but thank you very much to the Executive Committee. Thank the kids for participating in the game, and the parents for having these kids, and for all these people up at the dais that support the game. Thank you very much, and I'll accept this award in the name of my son.
You know, some of the unsung heroes of the game, and again, this is the 23rd game, and we owe really a lot of thanks. We owe a lot of thanks to a lot of people, but I think probably the people that we ought to thank the most, and we ought to give them a big round of applause, are the mothers who have to wash the clothes and feed all these giant football players. Let's give the mothers a giant hand. every year when I see the football players here, I always say to myself, I don't know how they do it to make them grow up so big and strong. At this time, I would like to bring up to the dais the president and the game director, who has done a tremendous job putting everything together here, and he's going to present an award, the Celebrity Chairman Award, and that's Jimmy D. DeGillis.
Thank you. The next award is what we call our First and Goal Award, and this award usually goes to the outstanding college coach in the area or who has contributed to this game. This year's coach is a coach from Lycoming College. His name goes as Frank Girardi. Coach Girardi's been coaching for 25 seasons at Lycoming. I believe, no, excuse me on that. 25 seasons in general. Is that, Coach? At Lycoming, Gary. He started coaching back in Williamsport High School, or playing days Williamsport. There you go. I'm really messing up tonight. Excuse me. Let's start this again. Coach Girardi's been coaching for 25 seasons. He started playing football at Williamsport High School, went on to Westchester University where he earned his Bachelor's of Science degree in Education. He began his coaching career at Jersey Shore High School as an assistant football coach in 1961 and was named head coach there in 1963. Coach Girardi's record is 180, 63, and 5. He has led Lycoming to 22 consecutive winning seasons. Just this past season, he was 11-1, and he earned a spot in the NCAA Division III Final Four. In addition, he won the Middle Atlantic Conference Freedom League title, the overall MAC championship, and the Division III South Region crown. Coach Girardi's accomplishments have not gone unnoticed. He's been recognized by his peers as Coach of the Year in the Middle Atlantic Conference. In addition, he was the Downtown Wilkesboro Touchdown Club's MAC Coach of the Year the past 2 seasons. He's won the Eastman Kodak Region 2 College Division II Football Coach of the Year after a 10-1 record in 1991. With great pleasure, this executive committee, Coach Girardi, would like to present to you the 1997 First and Goal Award.
Hey, Bill,
Right. That's it.
thanks, Joe. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Okay. We put that right there, okay? Thank you, Jimmy. Appreciate that. First of all, it's a great honor anytime that you're awarded anything like this. Certainly like coming over the past 25 years, we've had a lot of outstanding football players, especially from this particular area. When I took over the job in 1972, the first thing I did was hire a Philadelphia guy. And I wanted him to stand up and be recognized, Rob Curry, our chief recruiter at Lycoming College. I came from central Pennsylvania. I went to school at Philly, in the Philly area, and we certainly knew the type of football that was played here, so we decided right then and there this was going to be our major area. And obviously we've had a tremendous amount of Philadelphia area kids that have done extremely well for us. Also with me tonight is our defensive coordinator, Steve Weiser. Wizard, stand up, please. And you know, to get an award like this is not only an honor, but it's even a greater honor because one of my former players, Jason Logue, from Father Judge, is also going to get an honor tonight. And Logie not only is a great football player, but obviously exemplifies what we're trying to do at Lycoming College. He just graduated this past year. He was a great leader for us on the field. And we hope he gets a good job and sends checks to Lycoming College. I know that.
We are building, we have a new building program going on right now. We're building a new stadium. We have to expand the stadium. We need new facilities. And the success that we've had in the Philadelphia area, and I might say especially the last 10 years with Father Judge, we're thinking of actually naming some of that thing, the Father Judge Hall or something. I'm not sure. I don't know if our executive people will go for it, but we're going to have 3 more judge guys coming with us, with Hardy and Whimsy, Foxy, and we've had a tremendous amount of success with those judge kids, and certainly with all the other people from Philadelphia. So it's a great honor to be associated with you people because you are winners. Now, you're not winners because you've won a lot of games. That's not necessarily so. That's not necessarily so. You're winners because of what football has done for you. And what I want to do is just touch on a couple of things that I think football has done for you. Some of the character traits that maybe that you have gotten because of football. And without football, you would not have them. You would not have them. I think some of the traits that you've learned what loyalty is all about. You've learned what loyalty is all about because you're loyal to each other, you're loyal to a team, you're loyal to a school. It's something that you're going to take with you for the rest of your life, whether you go on to college or not. It doesn't matter. You're going to take that loyalty with you because in your lifetime, you're only going to have a few close friends. I know you don't think that right now. You're going to be loyal to those friends. You're going to be loyal to a church. You're going to be loyal to a school. And I can't say enough about loyalty. I think so much of it that in every playbook that I've ever given to a lycoming college football player, I've got a loyalty oath in it. That's how much I think of loyalty. And you don't want to discount that because you're going to need people. People are going to need you. So I know you've learned what loyalty is all about. You're going to need that for the rest of your life. I know you've learned how to set goals. If you're an athlete, you have to be able to set goals. You've got to be able to know where you're going if you're going to get there. But you know something about setting goals, guys? That's the easiest thing in the world to do. You can say you want to be an all-state football player. You can say, I want to go to this school. You can say that I want to be an All-American. You can say all that stuff. But you know something? That's the easiest thing to say. Now, what are you going to do in order to accomplish that? Are you going to take all the things out of your way in order to achieve those accomplishments? Are you going to get in that classroom? Are you going to get in that weight room? Or are you going to go wherever your buddies want you to go? Are you going to do whatever someone else wants you to do? So setting goals, fellas, is the easiest thing in the world. It's what you do with them once you set those goals. And that's as important as anything there is. And I tell our guys this all the time. And Jason will tell you. At Lycoming College, they must fill out goal cards for me every single week. I will read them, 125 of them, every single week. That's how much we believe in them. So when I have a kid at the end of the year and we talk to him, he says, I want to be an All-American linebacker. All right, here's what you got to do. Now, you want to go back home and you don't want to work out, you don't want to run, you want to be the big party guy, you're never going to make it. You're never going to make it. So it's what you do with the goals, fellas, and that's not only in athletics, that's going to be in whether you get a job, it's going to be your goal with your family, with your wife, you name it. You've got to be able to set goals, but then you've got to do something about it. Then you've got to do something about it. I think you've learned to develop pride. I tell you, if you don't have pride here tonight, there's something wrong. Can you imagine you're picked for a city all-star game, you're representing your school, you're representing your coaches at your school, and you've got to do the very, very best you can to represent them. Not only on the field, but off the field. Not only on the field, but off the field. The other thing that I think is so important is that you've been able to develop through your coaches, through your teachers, through your parents, through your guardians, through your grandmoms, through your grandpops, accountability and responsibility. That's something that's missing. That's something that's missing nowadays. Big time. Not only with our youth, but I think it's missing with a lot of the adults too. We don't want to be held accountable for what we do or what we say. We don't want to be held accountable. We don't want to be responsible. But I can tell you this right now, in this day and age, you are going to be held accountable and you are going to be responsible. With recognition, and fellas, right now, you guys are being recognized, and it's great. You're being recognized as being some of the top athletes in the city of Philadelphia. But you know something? That's a little awesome too. Because with that recognition comes tremendous responsibility. You may not think of that because you're 17 or 18 years old. You may not think that. Because people are going to look up to you, the kids in your neighborhood, the kids on your block. They want to be like you. They want to be like you. So that's an awesome responsibility. And I know that right now, you know, that you read in the papers about these pros that say that I don't want to be a role model. It's not my responsibility. Bull. Bull. It is their responsibility. And every athlete and every coach should want to be a role model. They should want it. They should embrace it, because you are going to be looked at by a whole lot of people. A whole lot of people. And I know that this has been talked to you about before, but you should try to accept that. And I think as you grow and as you move on, and as I said, you're going to separate yourself now. You're going to separate yourself from your buddies at your high school. Some of you are going to be moving on to different college campuses. It's going to be different at some campuses. It's not going to be like home. There will be accountability, there will be responsibility, and these are just some of the things that are going to happen to all of us. But you've got to be able to continue to develop the traits that are important to you. And you know something? We all have to do this. Kids can't do it on their own. I couldn't do it on my own when I was growing up. Back when I was growing up in an ethnic family, I mean, there was certain things you did or that was going to be the end of it. But we all have to help each other. We got to help the young people. The young people have to help themselves. The coaches have to help. The teachers have to help. And you know something? Parents have to help. And when people say, well, yeah, but I'm only from a one-parent family, or I'm from a no-parent family, well, there's still somebody that can help. And I'm looking out over here and I see some of these guys that help the youth of this area so much. And I can't say enough good things about those people. I can't say enough good things about it. So parents and everyone else, you must help them. And as you move on, you have to elevate your levels of expectation. You got to elevate it, no matter where you go or what you do. If you're going away to college and play football, then you've got to elevate your level of expectation more than you're going to elevate it on Saturday afternoon or Saturday night when you play. In the classroom, you're going to have to elevate your level of expectation. You're going to have to elevate it to get a job. So all of those things are extremely important, because the higher the level of expectation, the higher the level of achievement. You'll be able to achieve more if you expect more. I think that's extremely important, and I know you've learned that, and I'm just trying to just touch on a couple of these things. I think you've got to develop the ability not to quit. Not to quit. Now, I'm not talking about quitting an athletic team per se. I'm talking about quitting on anything. Quitting in the classroom. Course is too tough. Teacher doesn't like me. I'm going to drop that class. Can't do it. You know, I don't want to do that. I don't want to take that curriculum. I don't know how many times I've looked at kids on tape and saw what great athletes they were, and when I looked at their academic standing, they can't cut it. And one of the reasons they can't cut it is because someone did not get to them in the 9th grade year when it starts to count. Because it's a lot easier to do the easy thing. But that's not the way it's going to be in life, guys. I can tell you that. Because you're not always going to be first in what you do. You're not always going to be first. You're not always going to get the job you want. I can tell you that now. There's a lot of people that will not get the job that they want to do. You're not going to get the house that you want. You may not get the car that you want. Whatever. But you got to develop the ability not to quit. Because hard work does not guarantee success. No matter how hard you work, it doesn't guarantee you're going to make it. But I tell you this, I'd rather work my tail off, and my chances of making it are going to be there than if you don't. And I tell that to our team all the time. When we play Weiser University, they're working as hard as we are. I know that. Hard work does not guarantee success. And the last thing I just want to leave you with is that don't forget where you came from. Don't forget where you came from. Don't forget your neighborhoods. Don't forget your schools. Don't forget your family. Because a lot of people to this point, whether you realize it or not, have helped you. They've helped you to get where you are right now. And there's going to be a time in your life when you're going to be able to help somebody else. And certainly when that happens, help them. You'll never regret it. Again, Jimmy and the Executive Council, thank you so much for this award. I certainly accept it on behalf of all of us.
The next award is the Hal Selfie Award, and Hal Selfie was a player who played in our first game, and he was in an automobile accident, and he was killed, and we always honored him because he was such a good athlete and such a great person. And at this time, to present the award is the head coach of Weiser University, Bill Zwart.
Well, I appreciate being invited here to give out this award. I didn't know a whole lot about the Hal Selfie Award or about Hal Selfie until I came here tonight and asked a few people about it. And I also want to thank the committee for inviting me here, because of being able to listen to Coach Girardi and sit down next to him and pick his brain a little bit and talk with him a little bit. Being the first year head coach at Weiser University, being able to sit next to a guy who's done as much as he has and pick his brain a little bit has helped me a lot just sitting here at dinner. And I think that's one thing. I don't want to get onto a tangent or anything. The one thing that you guys want to do, you're lucky because you're involved in an all-star game. People care about you, people want to honor you, and you should be congratulated for getting to this point. But in these types of situations, you have the chance to listen to somebody who's as successful as Coach Girardi, to give you some ideas of how he attained his success and how he's had a lot of his kids attain success. And you should take advantage of that, even if it's just one piece of what he said tonight, to try to make yourself better somewhere along the line. I know that I was lucky enough to play in a lot of all-star games when I was a senior in high school. I remember Joe Paterno coming and speaking at our banquet, and I always remember Joe Paterno said this about his players. He made it, at that time it was 1972, and he made his players always wear shoes and socks on campus. They weren't allowed to wear flip-flops, they weren't allowed to go around barefoot, they always had to wear shoes and socks on campus. And the reason he made them do that was because he felt that the football players at Penn State were a unique group. They were different than other people. Because of all the time and effort and work they had to put into it, and how proud it was for them to be a part of that Penn State program, that it was important for them to be unique and different. They didn't have to be like everybody else. And I always remember him saying that, and how important football was on that campus. I ended up going to the University of Delaware, and it was the same way on that campus. The football players at the University of Delaware were unique on that campus. People looked at you a certain way. You guys are all unique. People do look at you a certain way. Whether you want to be a role model or not, your younger brothers and sisters look at you every single day in the way you act. The guys on your football team that are sophomores and juniors and freshmen watch what you do every day. And there's a lot of challenges ahead of you in college, and you are the ones who legitimize. Okay, let me explain to you what I mean by that. You are the guys that if you walk into a dorm room and there are guys in there smoking pot and you sit in there, whether you smoke pot or not, but you're there, you legitimize that exercise. Because they look at you as a role model. As long as it's okay with you, it's okay to do it. And let me tell you, that's a lot of pressure. Okay? It's a lot of pressure to be a role model. It's a lot of pressure to walk out of that room. But you're the guy that people look to. You're the all-star. And even nowadays, where sports and athletics and jocks and everything are looked at a different way, you guys are still the guys in your school that everybody looks at and watches what you do. And they react directly on what you do. And I will tell you one thing. If you have a chance before the end of the school year and you graduate, just do this. Sit down and write on a piece of paper how everybody at your school, teachers, faculty, administration, players, students, think of you after you have left? How do they think of you? What impression did you leave? What did you do at your school to set yourself apart from somebody else? And then sit down and think of the way you want them to think of you. So that when you leave college 4 years from now, you've written down the way you want people to look at you 4 years from now. And what you did academically, what you did on the athletic field, and what you do as a person. See if that's the way the people at your high school think of you right now as you leave it. And if it's not where you want it to be, then you make sure it gets to where you want to be when you leave college. Okay? You guys have a great opportunity because of what you've been able to do on the football field to lead in so many other areas, and you have to take advantage of that. And there are so many kids that need your leadership, and you think about that every day. Okay? I know it's hard, but you wake up in the morning and you got younger brothers and sisters, and what you do that day, they're going to look at and remember. And you got to take advantage of the fact that you're in a position to help people out. Now, this award tonight is for a guy who everybody thought highly enough of that they named an award after him, and he died when he was a freshman in college. So by the time he was a freshman in college, he had already made his mark. People thought enough of him to name an award after him, and every year this award is given out specifically, not necessarily for a kid who's academically strong or athletically great. This award's given out for that kid who puts team in front of the individual, who's unselfish, who will do whatever is necessary to help his team win, who's dedicated, and who's a leader. Okay? Which is a nice way to be remembered. So those two guys who are getting this award tonight are going to be remembered in that fashion. And let me tell you something. That's something that's really important, to be remembered in that fashion. Anybody can run the football and take it into the end zone, but to be remembered as a dedicated, caring person is something that's really, really important, and the rest of your lives you should think about that. The two winners tonight are, from the non-public team, from Father Judge High School, Jim Lanigan.
Stand up here, let me take it. Okay? Thanks. Stay up here. Want to say something?
Just like to say thank you to both my parents, Tim and Joyce Lanigan, both teams for participating, and we look forward to a great game, and we'll be out there to see you all. Thanks.
All right, the public league winner is Antoine Brown from Dobbins.
I just want to say thanks to Coach for selecting me for this award. I thank my mom, and as Coach Singletary said, we do our talking on the field, so we see you guys later on.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, and I wish you guys the best of luck Saturday and in college. Thanks a lot.
All right, now we have an award called our Alumni Award, and Coach Hubbard will give that award out.
One thing I'd like to do as president of the executive board, I want to make sure that this happens. So now's as good a time as any. If you look on the inside of the front cover of your program, you'll see the list of all the names of the members of the executive board. These are men and women who give of their time. They receive nothing in return as far as money, but they do receive a lot because they receive what we get from you guys playing in the game. I'd like to at this time have all the members of the executive board to please stand so we can give them some recognition. Okay, each year we try to go over our records and we talk among ourselves and talk about our guys who played in the game and guys who didn't play for us specifically at our schools, but who played in this game, who went on to college and are ending their college career, and we like to invite them back and present them with our Alumni Award. And tonight we're fortunate to have, I think, 4 of our former players. I know we have 4. We had a couple of others on the list. I'm not sure if they got here or not. But I'd like to introduce them to you and have them come up to receive this award. First of all, Matthew Wyler. Here's Matthew. And I'll let Matthew, he'll at least let him tell you where he played here in the city and a little bit about himself and what he's done in college.
I'd like to thank the All-Star Committee. I went to Bartram High School. I attended Delaware State University. I just finished up playing my last year. I'd like to wish both teams luck on Saturday for the Public League represent. When y'all play on Saturday, just make sure that everybody has fun. Go out there, play hard. Some people might not have a chance to play again. Some people play in college. Just go out there, have fun, and give it your all.
Our next Alumni Award winner is Jason Lowe.
Okay, just want to thank the All-Star Committee for honoring me. And I'm from Father Judge High School. I got a lot of guys in here, big alumni. A lot of guys coming up to my college, Lycoming College. Been there for 4 years. We're a pretty good program. We get a lot of city kids coming up. One thing I want to leave you guys with, 4 years went quick for me, so make what you can of it. You know, play hard, and after you get out of there, you're going to have a lot of memories, a lot of friends, especially in here, and just give it your all, and non-public league represent.
Our next Alumni Award winner is Gene McAleer.
Spelled wrong.
We're going to have to they misspelled your name.
No. Thank you. Yep. Stay right there. Let me take another picture.
Yeah, first of all, I'd just like to thank the committee. You know, 4 years ago when I played in this game, I mean, it was a big game for me. We had a lot of fun, and I mean, we won a tough battle, and they're still talking about it today. I went to Philadelphia Eagles workout for a couple, and it was open camp, and there were a lot of guys around, a lot of guys from the public league, and they were still talking about it. They're still like, so that they didn't win and everything else. They still brought it up. I said, can you get over it? We already won. So, you know, good luck with everybody. And I went to college at Hofstra. I had a good 4 years there. You know, getting my degree. Hopefully play somewhere in the NFL or somewhere, trying to get in somewhere. You know, I did my best, and hopefully everyone else does theirs. Good luck. Thanks.
Our next Alumni Award winner is Gerald Scotty Mack.
Good to go.
My name is Scott Mack, attended Roxborough High School. Yeah, Roxborough, that's right, represent Granville. I'd just like to add that my year when we played in '92, that we were the only public league team to shut out the Catholic League team. So let's try to do that again this year. I attended Millersville University, and I'm graduating this weekend. Graduating this weekend with a degree in management and a minor in athletic coaching. As of Monday, I'll be unemployed, so anyone has a job. Tess later wants to tell everyone that I ran a 4.2 in high school, and I also ran for the Scouts, but that was a long time ago. Anyway. I'd like to wish everyone luck and let everyone know that hard work pays off for you, and if you work hard in school, you'll see the results later. Thank you.
We did have two other young men we had planned to present awards to, and I'm not sure if they got here tonight. So if they did, I don't want to skip them. Did Darren Peoples get here? Okay, how about Ken Pickron? Okay, the two of them are also Alumni Award winners, and we do have trophies up here for them, so we will see to it that they get them. Thank you.
And now we have our Scholar Athlete Awards, which is one of the highlights of this whole affair. It's amazing. I mentioned before, we've given out over $175,000 worth of scholarships, and all this money has come from the game itself, from people who are donating money to the game, and it just gets bigger and bigger every year. And at this time, I'd like to bring up one of the originators of the game, Dr. Ralph Recapita, to make the presentation.
Thank you. This year, we have a lot of firsts. As Patrice said, we have our first male cheerleader. And with the Scholar Athletes, we have a couple firsts as well. Last year, one of our award winners was Donald Vile from Judge, who had outstanding scores and went to Harvard, and he was number 2 in his class, and that was pretty good. I mean, that was the highest we've ever had. Well, this year, the award winner from the Public League, Girardi Bay from Germantown, is number 1 in his class.
We have a bell, please. I'm going to have to thing that up. Gotta wait till I get your award.
Scholar Athlete, Public League.
Scholar Athlete. Let's get a pat. A lot of people. That's right. I'll say what score is that?
Well, thank you very much for this award. I was kind of surprised, but one person I like to thank most is my grandmother. after my mother passed, she stepped right in and she been there by my side. And I'd like to thank Mr. Hicks, my head coach, because my 9th grade year, I wasn't going to play. But one of the gym teachers said, come here, I got somebody to meet. And he introduced me to Mr. Hicks. And Mr. Hicks, ever since then, he been on my back. Come on, you got to strive harder, you be more persistent in class. Come on, we got these coaches coming to talk to you. And I'm proud to say I'm going to Temple next year. And I'm not getting a sports scholarship, I'm getting an academic scholarship. And I'd like to say thank you again, and Saturday night, it's on.
Our next scholar athlete has a grade point average of 4.0. He, besides being on the football team, obviously, he's the editor of the yearbook. He's in the mathletes. He's an officer in the National Honor Society, an officer in the Latin Club. He's in the chess club. He's a diocesan scholar, attends classes at LaSalle University. His board scores was 1360, and this is hard to believe because I want to know who, he's number 6 in his class. I want to know who 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 are. From North Catholic, Patrick McGeehan.
Tell us where you're going to.
I'd like to thank my parents and of course North Catholic and everybody involved with the game. It's been a great experience. I'm attending Catholic University next year. I'm playing football for them, and this has been a great experience to get me ready for college. And I can't wait till Saturday to see how the Catholic and the Public League do in the game.
I now want to give the scholarship awards. All these awards are in the amount of $500, which will help with expenses. The first group of awards are given courtesy of the Mercy Douglas Corporation in honor of a great coach, great man, Mr. Tank Wilson. When you get your game program, in the back half of the book, there's a picture and a write-up about Mr. Wilson. I had the opportunity to coach against him, to be with him at various times. He had a son who played in the game, and we had an opportunity to talk, and he was always concerned about young people. He knew everybody. He knew everybody that was playing. He was a real knowledgeable about the game and knowledgeable about the young people. And he was concerned about what was happening. And we're really honored and pleased that Mr. Wilson's brother and his family have used our game as a vehicle to perpetuate his outstanding achievements and what he has done in his lifetime. This year, they have contributed $1,500, and we as a board have agreed to match that amount. And I would like to ask Tank Wilson's son, Mr. Wilson, is at the head table here, if he would join me, and maybe he might have a word or two you want to say, and then we'll give the awards.
Good evening, everybody. This is a really happy occasion for me. My father would have loved this. He loved football. He loved Philadelphia football. He was a graduate of West Philadelphia High School. The Executive Vice President of Mercy Douglas Corporation, Mr. James Wilson, is also a graduate of West Philadelphia High School. And he would have just loved what this game seems to mean to everybody Saturday night. I will certainly be there with my son. I'm going to bring every friend that I can possibly talk into coming, because from what I've heard, I think everybody ought to see this game Saturday, because you guys think you're bad. You know, what my father would say to you is take something from everything that these gentlemen have said to you this evening. A gentleman spoke about loyalty. A gentleman spoke about character. These are things that you will not go very far without. Please remember that. You will not go very far without loyalty. You will not go very far without character. And you had better remember the people who got you here. Say Happy Mother's Day every day. Happy Father's Day every day. And thank the good Lord for every day that you do still have your parents with you, pushing you, behind you, and back of you, there all the time for you. Please take these things with you. Now, I'm not going to tell you who I'm rooting for Saturday night, because I have to go back to work tomorrow morning, and it's kind of divided there. Okay, so right now we're going to give out these awards.
First award goes to a student at St. John Newman, 900 in his SATs, who will be attending Norfolk State, Franklin Trappier.
First, I want to thank my mom for bringing me up right, and I want to thank my fellow Newman students over here for just giving me the chance. And I just want to say, my man said they got to do their talking on the field. We got to shut a lot of people up.
The second award goes to a student from Northeast High School, 1,000 in his SATs. He's been accepted at Hampton, Westchester, and Bloomsburg. Eric Petty.
I want to thank my mom, thank all the public league players, and I will be attending Hampton, and thank y'all for this award, and I just can't wait to play all these scary looking boys over here.
Next award winner is interested in taking plans to major in mechanical engineering. He's 940 in his SATs. Not sure what college he's going to. He'll tell us. He's accepted at Pittsburgh, at St. Francis College, and Wilkes University. That's Horace Gibson from Cornell Doherty.
I'd like to thank my mom and my dad. Thank God for bringing me here. And, you know what I mean, little boys. That wasn't even called for, but we're going to show you one Saturday, all right?
Horace mentioned to me that he will be going to Temple. Before I announce the next award, I want to thank the people on the executive committee who helped me with this, Chuck Killian especially, and Mrs. Linda Fields, who has been with us this first year. Mrs. Fields' son, if you all of us from Philadelphia are watching the Fiesta Bowl, Penn State, Texas. Her son broke that real long run, Shafi Fields. He was here. I don't see him back there now. I think he might have left, but he was attending most of the night. I'm going to thank them. The next award winner has 900 in his SATs, grade point average of 3.0, 29th in his class. We will be attending Millersville from Mashbaum, William Littles.
I just like to thank my moms, all the Mass Mom coaches, and it's no rant for Saturday. We just got to handle our business.
As was mentioned earlier, that thanking grandmothers who played a big part in young people's lives, especially when you happen to lose your mother. This next award winner is from my alma mater, West Catholic. Has good board scores, and he will tell us what his future plans are. Mark Bullock. Yeah.
I'd like to thank my grandma back there, my dad, and I look forward to running a lot of people over Saturday.
We had him up here earlier. Let's bring him back up again. Our scholar athlete from Germantown, Vita Patty Bay.
I'm not even going to say nothing now. There's nothing to say. Thank you.
These next awards are again courtesy of the Philadelphia City All-Star Chapter of the Pennsylvania Sports Hall of Fame. If you would look on the inside back cover of your program, you'll see a little something about the chapter. Your mugs, by the way, if you look on the back of your mugs, you'll see the logo of the chapter. They have paid for the mugs, and they have also given the awards to the cheerleaders as well as these next awards. And I'm going to ask the president of that chapter, who is really the driving force, my good friend, my brother, Milt Halstead. Would you come up here, please? The first award goes to a young man who has a 3.3 grade point average, 960 in his boards, 33 in class rank, accepted in many colleges. Maybe he'll tell us where he's going to go. He was captain of his team, won a lot of honors in the National Honor Society, president of a very prestige club in his high school, and that's Steve Sillett from Frankfurt High School.
Steve, I'm sure to have a look, but I'll give it to you at the end. Present it to him. I'll bet you one after. I don't know what happened. Want to say something?
We mentioned that there were a lot of firsts in this year's game. I'm going to ask these two guys to come up together. This young man has 1250 in his SATs. Also has a 4.0 grade point average in the National Honor Society, Latin Club, the Irish Club, ministry team. First honors every semester in high school. Was all the way back through grade school, the whole thing with excellence awards. Plans to major in biology and pre-med. And the reason why I'm saying it's a first, because I mentioned he's 7th in his class. Patrick Kean, who was the scholar athlete, was 6th in his class, and they're both from the same school, 6th and 7th from Northeast Catholic. So Jonathan Clark is our next award winner, and Patrick, would you come up with him, please?
Don't let this name further. Congratulations. There you go, look over there. Check on the other side.
Are we done moving now?
He told me to move.
Okay.
That's good. You want to say something? Go ahead.
Says the same thing. Okay, I want to thank everybody again to have the scholar athletes and give these scholarships. It's a thrill for me, but to also have someone who's number 1, number 6, and number 7 in their graduating classes really says a lot, I think, for the caliber of young men that we have playing in this game. Right, and good luck to all of you, and good luck to the two coaches. And Frank, congratulations. Thank you.
We got one more scholarship. Why don't, it's not on here. You get up here and tell me about it.
We have one other scholarship award before we get away from this part of the program, and our game director has been so gracious as to present a scholarship. Last year was the first time, so this is his second annual scholarship. So I call up Jim DeVirgilis to present his award.
I'd like to thank everybody for their patience tonight, and I think it was also a first. I think it's something very important. I was here tonight, and I had noticed it, and maybe nobody else had noticed it, but it was one where there's a little baby that was crying in the background. That little baby, the other little young child over here, to me, it's the first time I've seen, and it's been 3 years that I've been game director, and also even when I played, I ever see some young children in the audience. Gentlemen and ladies, that's what it's about. It's those young children that you're living for today. It's those young children that they're looking up to is you. You must do the right thing. Coach Girardi, Coach Swan, Mr. Wilson all said some very key words. Loyalty, goals, pride, accountability. responsibility, character. You know, not each and every, maybe none of you will play in the NFL. The odds are great. You got to start preparing for tomorrow. Tomorrow might be a truck driver, tomorrow might be a roofer, tomorrow might be a plumber, tomorrow might be a nurse, might be a chiropractor. If you're fortunate enough to even extend into your education, you could possibly then become a salesman, a plant manager, a doctor, a lawyer. But that's not what's made up this world. It's made up of every one of those careers there. Each and every one of them. Also, everybody mentioned today thanking their moms, thanking their grandmothers. There was a statistic the other day I heard on the radio, and that statistic was this. The biggest holiday that is challenging Christmas is sending a greeting card to their mother or an extension of that, meaning sometimes their mother's not around. It could be a grandmother, it could be a friend, but it is mom. And in the Catholic religion, it's the Virgin Mary and the Mother that is probably the biggest holiday that is celebrated besides Christmas. It is that female that is the inspiration behind you. It's that female that is supporting you. It's that female that picks you up off the ground when you're down. That leads you into a quote that I want you to remember. And it came back from Winston Churchill. Winston Churchill said, never, never, never give up. And back then, England was about ready to be taken. And by him not giving up, the United States troops then coming in, England then was saved. I ask you, each and every one of you, to remember that quote, because you're riding high right now. And some of you might be coming off your lowest of lows. Remember what it took to get you to ride that high again. So when you're knocked down, get back up. There's another quote I want you to remember, and was then portrayed this year through volunteerism, through the President's Summit. That really came back to Kennedy. And President Kennedy said, do not ask what America can do for you, but ask you what you can do for America. And again, do not ask what we can do for you guys, ladies. Please ask what you can do for us. Take the accountability, take the responsibility, be the role model, and show everybody that you're a leader today and you'll continue to be a leader tomorrow. And that leads into my trophy. The trophy I brought up, it's a trophy that I feel shows leadership. Somebody that I believe, as well as the friends of, because it's those individuals that donate to the trophy have the right to vote on, doesn't necessarily portray education. If you're fortunate enough, you can get educated. That's fortunate. Some do not want to be educated formally, but they become educated in a trade. And it's, I said before, just important to have that trade as to have that formal educated individual. So this trophy asks for accountability, it asks for responsibility because it's contingent. The first contingent is one, the individual that is chosen, and if they are chosen to go on to further their education, they got to report back to me in 1 year and show me that they obtained a C average. That's when they'll get this trophy. In addition to the trophy, this year I was fortunate enough to raise an extra $2,000, so it'll be a $2,000 scholarship. However, the individual did not choose to go into his education, but choose to go into the armed services, shows me that he's a full member in whatever branch of service that he chose. And last is the third individual. He chooses not to go into education or into the armed services. He chooses to go into the workforce. And he shows that he's responsible, that he tried for 1 year by keeping a daily log to get employment. And if he was successful, he shows me the pay stubs. If he was unsuccessful, he then shows me the log that he at least tried. And that's what it's about, trying. So with that, I brought back last year's winner, and he's been responsible to me, and he can tell you, I want you to check in with me. I'm there for you. If there's anything I can do, believe me, I'll bend over backwards. If not, I will have somebody else do it. And I will definitely be on top of you. I just want you to be responsible. So last year, is Floyd Allen. He's from Northeast High School, went on to Wilkes University. The winner of this year's trophy is an individual from Mashbaum High School. It's an individual who's all public and all the daily presses, from Daily News to coaches. And he also is excelling in baseball. He's an individual that possibly could be drafted for baseball. And I know at this point, at least at this point, he has accepted a scholarship to the University of Massachusetts. With that, I'm going to ask Floyd Allen, because he is growing, he's moving ahead, to announce this year's winner.
This year's winner, from Mashbaum and a close friend of mine, is Edward Bowman.
The three of you get together. You get the middle. You get the middle. You get the middle on each side. We'll do it. Good.
First of all, I'd like to thank God for making this all possible. Second of all, I'd like to thank my parents for supporting me in everything I did. And I'd like to thank my teammates for being there for me when I was down to pick me up. And I'd like to wish everybody a good game Saturday night. Thanks.
Here, son. Can I have Linda Fields come up, please? Oh, okay. Before you do, I would just like to say, before the benediction, I would just like everybody to know that it's a tremendous honor to be involved with this All-Star game. No one ever thought it can be this big and have so much interest. We're probably the first or second largest All-Star game in the United States. It has more quality to it than anything else, and the reason is because of the participants, the parents, and the coaches who are behind it. So therefore, take away from this night the feeling and the idea that you achieved something that very, very few people in Philadelphia achieved. You are the best. And the reason you're the best because you went out and you did a little bit more than anyone else wanted to do. The practices, the tough times, the studying when you didn't want to study. So you're somebody special. And remember, when people talk about football players, no longer do they talk about football players who are just people who don't care. The football players in the city of Philadelphia really care. So make sure tomorrow night, everybody's a winner. Have a great game, and make sure you go home safely. Tomorrow, Larry.
Hi guys. I just want to do one thing. I know I'm supposed to do the benediction, but I have to do this because, first of all, I want to thank the executive board, and if all the players in this room would please stand up and give the executive board a hand. Don't sit down. The other thing that I want to say to you guys is that you're all champions. And not only is the executive board proud of you, they have given an example of that by this banquet, but your parents and your extended family, you are very, 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 very special. Not just because you play football, but because you took the time to get the grades that you've gotten so that you would be eligible to play. That is so important. The examples that you're making right now has this entire city watching you. And believe me, next year it's going to be even greater. I just want you all to remember this day. Tell your friends and family to be encouraged to come and participate next year. And I just want to say you're all champions, and no matter who wins on Saturday night, you're all the greatest. And I love you all. Thank you. I'm going to do the benediction now. Father, we come before you again, and we just thank you, and we praise you. We glorify you, for without you, none of us would be here. None of us would be able to do the things that we do. And I just want to thank you. I ask right now that Saturday night be a victorious night for everyone. I ask that there's no harm that will come to anyone, that it will be a full, great game played with not only courage, but integrity. I pray, Lord God, that everyone leaves the game complete and whole, no injuries. We're believing that in your mighty name, and I thank you. Amen.
We'll see you next year and at the game Saturday night.